Hello, and welcome to the Godot community for High School Visual Art 3D. As the school year is winding down, I often go to my students in a variety of ways to get their feedback on what's been covered throughout a semester or even sometimes the whole year. And I find that the feedback I get really informs what and how I teach. I regularly change up the projects that I teach due to a range of reasons, really. Obviously, the most recently being COVID, there were restrictions with supplies and accessibility. So, COVID has definitely altered what I have been teaching these last couple years. Other factors that come into play are maybe class size or whether the class is embedded with another prep, access to materials, whether I'm bored with the project because I've done it for what seems like an eternity, but also feedback I'm getting from my students about their learning expectations for the course are affecting my choices and decisions about what I teach. The way that I collect feedback at the end of the year is sometimes more formal with maybe a survey that's more specific, or it can be just like a reflection piece that students make. They could make a reflection PowerPoint. And I've also used online platforms where students can record themselves talking about the work they've done over the semester. And I find that often the students are really comfortable with recording themselves and the information seems more authentic. I don't know if it's because they're so used to filming each other or that's a bit more off the cuff when they are recording. So, no chance to second guess your answers, but it's been pretty successful. On the following slides, I have included some of those video responses of students reflecting on their year or semester, or I think even in this case, a couple of them had work from last year when they were in the beginning level courses.
In Ceramics 3-4, we have a lot of fun. I really look forward to this class because I get to spend it with my friends and we get to work both independently and together on projects, and we all get to choose what we do in different ways. We got to do the wheel this year, which was different from last year, and this is one of the pieces that I made on the wheel. And it was a lot of fun. I think it was definitely a big, what's it called? It was definitely difficult. We had some struggles, but we eventually got the hang of it. And I think that this was a result of our skills improving throughout the years. We've done ceramics for about 2 years and a little the first year. And these are some of the other projects I've made. We did a mixed media form. Actually, both of these are mixed media. This one doesn't have the wire yet. There'll be a wire here. Incorporating clay and wire. And then this one has this fabric along with the clay and has been watercolored. And these mixed media forms were really fun. The totem was definitely my favorite because I got to make 3 very different forms that all fit together. And I think it's really cool, and I really like the colors that I got to do with it as well. And this right here is one of our most recent projects. It was our wall relief project, and this was definitely very difficult as well. It was hard to make it hollow with the newspaper. We really had to incorporate the stages of dryness, and I definitely learned a lot from that, and I'm excited to glaze it and put it out to show. So yeah.
Taking ceramics 3-4 this year has provided a lot of stability within my school life because my art pathway, I always see it as kind of a break in my school day, which I personally need because it is a good thing that relaxes me throughout my day. And this year was really fun because I feel like we got a lot more freedom than last year, and you can see kind of how we went from structures like this, which was more of like this is what you have to make. It was stiff slab construction, which I personally don't thrive in, and then we went this year, like these were both prompts to make a vase. and this year I did much more organic forms, and I used like pinch pot form instead of stiff slab because I feel like I'm better at that. And then also this was another vase prompt, which was also mixed media, and you can see how it's very organic in the way that they're both turning and they're both like looking at each other almost. They piece together. And in this year, I feel like I had the most fun with my totem project because it turned out super cute. It turned out how I wanted it to, and it was super vibrant with the colors. And what I think I struggled with the most this year was probably stages of dryness, because when you make forms like big, like our wall relief, it's kind of difficult to keep up with all the stages of dryness, but it ends up piecing together very well. But I think I also struggled with our wheel forms. Even though I ended up liking them in the end, it was really hard to kind of do something new that we hadn't ever done before, and I feel like I just like couldn't get the beginning. But once you get the process down, it ends up being really fun and it's super enjoyable and relaxing.
Hi everyone! Ceramics 3-4 has really been a source of fun and also a very big learning experience for me and all of the other students in my class. We started in Ceramics 1 kind of learning the basics, how to create pinch pots, use different sort of methods in our ceramics. And this semester specifically in Ceramics 4, I would have to say one of my greatest successes is my totem, as it was really fun to be able to create something that was 3 different forms, and then using epoxy, 2-part epoxy resin, we were able to attach them and kind of make it one form, and then we got to paint everything, and that was a very fun experience. I think over the few years of being in ceramics, my standards of success have changed because I've learned a lot, and I've learned how to maneuver clay in different ways, whether that's using stiff slab construction or pinch pot construction or learning how to do the wheel most recently. We also did some mixed media things, and some of my projects aren't finished yet, but as the semester comes to a close, I think it's been a really good learning experience. And this semester specifically, we focused on kind of the wheel and learning how to use that, which at first was definitely more difficult, learning how to center the clay and learning how to, create the correct shape and make everything even, not have holes in the bottom or anything like that. And so, although it took a while, I think they all ended up really well and everything turned out good. And yeah, so all of these works I'm very proud of and I had a lot of fun making.
In Ceramics 3-4, my greatest success this semester was probably my mixed media form. It's not finished yet, but there is going to be wire here, and it was really cool to see different objects in the real world and try to turn them into a different form using ceramics. This was a harmonica I got the idea from, and I kind of transformed it into something else. My standards of success has definitely changed. Things I've done in the previous years just don't show the work that I can do now. How I smooth and how I use different tools have really transformed, and just my progress and how long it takes me to do different things. Something that I could learn more about and do better on is painting and doing extra coats of paint, like this one for example. But I definitely have gotten better with it to show other glaze works that I've done. I've definitely shown growth throughout these 2 years by just being able to use a wheel now, which I could never do before. We're able to just do it individually and make something without any sort of direction or anyone telling us what to do, which is really cool. I think personally I've shown growth, but I've also loved some of the things that I've made in the very beginning of ceramics that I like more than stuff I've done now, just because my creativity and how my mind work has definitely evolved and changed. The wheel was one of my favorite things I did, but it was definitely difficult, and watching my transformation of the very beginning things I've made to what I've made now is really interesting to watch and see. Mixed media is something that I really enjoyed, and it was cool to incorporate things from the outside world into different things we were making in art and in ceramics.